What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we got a really cool video. We are going to be covering whether or not I think stage 2 is worth it for a car. Now keep in mind, I am not an expert, I am not a mechanic, I am not a professional. This is just my pure opinion from an enthusiast perspective. This is my 2019 Volkswagen Jetta GLI that I recently just modified to stage 2. Now, obviously I can't speak for every single car out there because I've only ever experienced it on my GLI here, but I'm gonna give you an honest and true opinion on whether or not I think it's worth it. Now, before we get into the video any further, it is important to understand what stage 2 is. So stage 2 is a term coined by, I guess, tuning companies or a car enthusiast, like the car enthusiast culture. It's essentially just a statement that signifies how modified your car is, right? So here's everything on my car that makes it stage 2. So first we have an APR open air intake, and that is all connected through upgraded turbo inlet hoses, all the way back to a turbo inlet pipe back here. And then we also just recently installed a ARM Motorsports 4.5-inch catless downpipe, which is seen here. And that is the main meat and potatoes of stage 2. On top of a downpipe, we also have an aftermarket intercooler in here, which I know you can't see, but we just upgraded to the Unitronic intercooler, and I opted to go with them because it's an OEM replacement. It's obviously upgraded, it's got a stronger core. However, it fits in the exact same spot. I didn't want to go with the front mount one, even though it looks cool. I just did not want to cut my crash bar. On top of all of these mods, under the car, I have a new speed catback exhaust. So my whole exhaust goes from a 4.5-inch catless downpipe into a 3-inch catback with a resonator and 2 mufflers. Because I have those modifications, I'm running Unitronic stage 2 93 octane file, and I'm also running the stage 2 DSG tune because this car is DSG, it is not manual. I know you're probably gonna give me some hate for that in the comments, but I did not want to spend $4 grand to upgrade my clutch to go stage 2 in this car. Think smarter, not harder, folks. And it's probably a little faster. That is what I have done to my car in order to make it stage 2. Now, I think according to the internet, you don't have to have all of this stuff done. I think the main 3 modifications probably that I would have in order to go stage 2 would be an intake, a downpipe, either catless or catted, and then an upgraded intercooler. So the main question, why would you want to go stage 2? Why should you go stage 2? One of the main reasons that people go stage 2 is obviously the jump in horsepower. I think going from stage 2, Unitronic quotes that this car gains 112 horsepower and 119 foot-pounds of torque. I'm assuming that's at the crank. We haven't dynoed this, but stay tuned for that video because that is coming out soon. We are going to be dyno testing this car. I also dropped a stage 1 video. So if you're interested in just going stage 1 instead of stage 2, I did dyno test stage 1 and got pretty good results on that. So make sure you guys go check out that video. Another reason though that people might want to go stage 2, other than the horsepower, is the sound. Obviously running a downpipe gets rid of your catalytic converter if you decide to go catless, or it implements a high flow cat, obviously making your car louder or sound better than stock. That was honestly one of the reasons that I wanted to go stage 2. So this car sounded pretty good with the catback exhaust on it, but with just an exhaust, you don't get all the theatrics that you do with a downpipe. So this car is also tuned on pops and bangs. Don't give me shit for that because they're honestly mild. They're not aggressive at all, and they're fun. You don't have to do them if you don't want to, but if you're feeling freaky and you want to get some pops and bangs going, you can get some pops and bangs going. You can also hear a lot more turbo noise with the stage 2 setup. That's intake wise and exhaust wise. And I think one more reason to go stage 2 is if you're bored of your car, go stage 2 if you have the ability to, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I was bored of this car. I was 100% bored of it, and now I'm in love with it again. Like, I'm literally so in love with it to the point where I really want to buy a GTI for my next car and just make it fast as shit. So stage 2 has absolutely transformed my love for this car. So instead of buying a new car, spend a couple dollars on it and make your car faster. Now, with that being said, we got to talk about the cons of going stage 2 as well. The biggest con of going stage 2 is going to be the cost. Obviously, all the supporting mods that go on this car in order to make it stage 2 cost a lot of money. So we're going to do a quick cost rundown of everything that I have in my car and what it would cost if I had to do it again. So APR open air intake, I believe, goes for $325. That's a pretty easy install. the air intake system that we have, so the inlet tube and the inlet turbo inlet elbow back there probably goes for another $250. The downpipe goes for $500, I believe. And then we have the Unitronic intercooler, which goes for $750, I believe. We have the ECU tune, which goes for $750. We have the TCU tune, which is $700. Then we have the Newspeed catback exhaust, which is optional, but that was $1,200. So I mean, off the top of my head, you add that up, that's almost $4,000, maybe even a little more. And you got to think that's before labor. Now, I think to install all of this on a car, it'd probably be between 8 and 15 labor hours, which I don't even know what an average shop costs. I would guess a very low average shop cost would probably be about $100 an hour to do something like this. So if you're getting charged $100 an hour to do 15 hours of labor, that's an extra 1,500 bucks. You're looking at almost $6,000 now just to add 120 horsepower to your car. So that is obviously a big con. But if you're a car guy like me, it's probably worth it. And one other really important thing that people don't think about when they go stage 2 is the resale value of their car. So obviously your car is going to be worth less because you're taking the cats, the stock cats, off the car, and it's going to decrease the value. Now, that may not be true in all cases. You might find some Facebook marketplace sucker and get a good deal, but realistically, guys, look at this. If I took this car to the Volkswagen dealership, they'd probably be like, that's a badass car, we're gonna give you $8 grand. Like, bro, I got that in mods almost. So it's like, come on. You have to really take that into consideration. I'm planning on keeping this car for a really long time, so I didn't care about the resale value of this car. Now, getting into the more fun stuff, I'm about to show you one of my favorite things about stage 2. One of the main reasons, I said it earlier, that I went stage 2 was for the exhaust. So what kind of video would this be without any exhaust clips? All right, now I think there's only one thing left to do, and I think that's to go for a drive. So I'm gonna take you guys along with me on a quick rip. We're just gonna do some quick POV driving so you guys can see what it's kind of like to drive a stage 2 GLI. But I will have a full POV video coming out probably next week driving this thing, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But let's hit the road. All right, guys, don't mind my energy drinks. I'm freaking exhausted. It's midnight right now. It's 12:08. So one thing that's nice about stage 2 and the Burble tune is it's optional. So right now I am in just regular drive mode and there are no burbles. The second that you pull this sucker over, put it in sport. Okay, now we're in sport manual, downshift. Okay, here we go. There you go, you hear that? So here's my honest review, driving wise, of stage 2. So the car does feel a hell of a lot faster. I'll tell you what, I have passengers in here and they're like, this car boogies now, and I'd have to agree with them. I think specifically on the GLI, this car picks up so much torque that it feels so much faster, especially after like 50 miles per hour. So this car really, I think, benefited from stage 2 in the top end. Down low, don't get me wrong, it feels pretty good, but this car already came with more torque than horsepower, so it's already kind of torquey. Like, it feels pretty quick. However, when it was stock, it would die off around 70 miles an hour. I think that it just lost all momentum, all pull. And now this thing rips, and I mean rips, like past 70. Like, how it pulls in first and second is how it pulls through like third and fourth now. We're just gonna brake boost into it. So I mean, see guys, like this, I mean, by no means is this car a rocket, but it is definitely quick, and it definitely gained a lot of horsepower over stock. Tunnel. All right guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video. Do I think that stage 2 is worth it? Yes, I do. I think that going stage 2, if you're interested in it, is definitely worth the money. It 100% brought my car to life. I was on the verge of selling this car just because I was kind of bored of it. But now that it's stage 2, I've fallen in love with it all over again, and I'm probably going to keep this car until it blows up, which hopefully isn't very soon. I think that if you're on the fence, absolutely, go ahead, get stage 2. But I think that if you're very new to this scene, maybe you just got a GTI, you just picked up something similar, a GLI, I think maybe start with stage 1. I think maybe to start with some small bolt-ons, something that can get you to stage 1, like an intake and a catback, because don't sleep on stage 1. Stage 1 does make a pretty big difference in the car. It's not like stage 2, but it does make a big difference. So if you've got that kind of itch, but you don't really want to spend $4,000 or $5,000 on stage 2 right now, I think stage 1 would probably be a great place to start for you. But I would absolutely get stage 2. It's fun. Who doesn't want some burbles, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, guys, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for tuning in. If you watched it this far, I really appreciate you. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe if you made it this far. I got a lot more videos coming on this car. We're gonna be doing a bunch of fun stuff. We're gonna be dyno testing this car. I got my downpipe video coming out. We might do some like autocross stuff with this. I might even be doing a turbo soon. We don't know, but make sure you guys subscribe. Thanks for watching. Leave a like, leave a comment, and make sure you guys go check out some of my other videos that I've done on this car. But that is it for today's video, and peace out. We'll see you next time.